How do we measure our confidence? And how do we know that we're becoming our best self and we're not pretending to be someone else? It's difficult to be confident and pretend to be someone else. In this video, there's nothing fancy. I just wanted to sit and chat and see where this flows. So I just, turned on the camera and I just started wondering about the things that makes us confident. And without trying to glamorize this, without trying to tell you things that don't work or that I haven't implemented in my life, I want to share things that seemed really possible for me to go from feeling this anxious person, really insecure about herself, comparing all the time, to what quite helped me move past that. And it wasn't something external that I did. It was always about inner work. And the inner work took me obviously so long. And it's a constant journey, right? It never truly stops. You would continue to evolve into the person that you wanted to become. And the best way to put this to you is your best version is not going to be someone you've always thought you wanted. It's really the journey that you overcome to become the person that you want to become. In that overcoming phase, there will be a lot of conflicts, internal conflicts actually inside of you, that tells you the opposite of confidence. And there will be days where you wake up and you won't feel that confidence. There will be days where you make mistakes and that confidence just disappear almost. But you see, the irony of this is that it's not taken away, or nobody can ever take that from you. And it's something you practice and you embody every day, right? So there are, for example, some certain piece of clothes that make you feel confident. You wear it, you look good, you feel amazing. And the next day you wake up, something happens along the day, you don't feel confident about yourself. Beating yourself up is not the solution. We think sometimes the hustle and go mindset would help us, become more resilient in life. And so remember, anytime you are in that phase, anytime you're experiencing that lack of confidence and almost telling yourself that you need something external to fulfill yourself, I would just take out a piece of paper and just begin to journal, begin to write all the thoughts, all insecurities, anything that comes up, right? That might have convinced you that you're not a confident person, or that you are not someone you want to love every single day. This journal or this piece of writing will help you reflect on all the things, all the baggages, or all the negativity that you've been carrying around. And I want you to look at that piece of writing, right? That piece of paper you just wrote the things on, and ask yourself if any of these are actually real life situations. Is this actually your reality of, this is my life, this is the person I don't want to become? Reflect on how it makes you feel internally reading those dialogues or reading those sentences to yourself. More often than not, it's actually the most cruel things we'd say to ourselves, right? We are most critical when we're feeling our lowest. And I want you to release all of that as you are writing or journaling. As you're doing the exercise, I want you to release, right? You can either do a kind of a death meditation, where you sit down and you experience this identity or this person that you want to let go of, and start releasing, even by saying, I release this pattern, or I release this old version of myself. This may not really be a permanent thing, but every day or every once in a while, you practice this and you do this exercise, it will help you shift from negativity to actually feeling like, optimistic, but at the same time, acknowledging that these are your feelings, these are things that you're experiencing in your reality. Even if I look at you, I'm like, oh my God, how do you see those things about yourself? I see the opposite of it, because sometimes the way that we see life, we see it through our own traumas and lens, right? We see it filtered through experiences and traumas and what people said, and it's personalized, right? It's personal. But if someone else comes in, sits down as a third person view, and they would look at life, they're like, oh my God, I don't see this person as this or this or this, and they would check off all the things that you've told about, said about yourself. These are obviously surface level, right? If we want to go deeper into understanding and into disrupting those patterns, is we begin to journal first of all, and then we reflect if any of that is actually true. Most of the time it's in our heads, and the shift from that place is you start by either creating kind of like a plan or something that you remind yourself of. Maybe you wake up and this is the first thing you see when you wake up, like a sticky note or a reminder on your phone. This kind of, improves your problem solving, or improves your focus. If you're focusing on the wrong things, obviously there's going to be a lot of chaos in your life. Meaning that if you sit down here and focus on your past, all the things that you hated, all the things that you made mistakes, all the things that you regret, you're not going to feel great, and you're not going to take choices in the present that are really benefiting your future self. So it is a challenging way, but it's so far, I guess one of the things that really worked out for me is to just reflect. And it doesn't even have to make sense, right? When you do this, mind you that there will be thoughts of like, no, I don't want to write this, I don't want to sound negative, but I want you to just let go of the thought itself of wanting to be optimistic or positive, and just begin to write. Let it flow just like water, right? Anything comes up, write it down. You don't have to filter it out, right? Because that's what we tend to do, is that when we think something is negative, we don't acknowledge, and then we don't write it, and then we suppress what we feel. And it will help you eventually understand yourself in a much clearer way, so that you can make smarter choices. And you don't have to live this fantasy life where you are navigating it and trying to gaslight yourself, thinking, no, this is not your experience and that you should be experiencing something else. If this is your current reality, it's really trying to understand around what's happening and what's occurring. How do I feel? What matters to me in this moment? Do I want to go out? Do I want to release this energy? Do I want to maybe change a decision in my life, my work, maybe my friends group? It really gets you to think in a more intentional way, rather than just acting impulsively and reacting to your life currently from experiences that happened to you that were unpleasant, really. So I hope this helps. This video is much more shorter than the rest of the videos that I've created, and as much as I love creating longer content for you guys, because I find that it gives kind of clarity into the topics that I talk about. But if you are someone who loves shorter content, please let me know. I'd make more of those. then I'll let you, sit down and watch like a 30-minute, 20-minute video, which I absolutely don't mind doing because I truly love this space and I love sharing my thoughts. I love, interacting with you guys, and just seeing you come back to every video every week means a lot to me. So I really, really appreciate you. If any of this resonates, leave a comment, leave a feedback, or send me an email. I might not respond to it immediately, but when I do, I will make sure that it's intentional. And obviously there's topics that I talk about, there's topics that might not really resonate, but feel free to chat in the comments and share this video with anyone you think might benefit. I will see you next time, next week, same time. Bye, my loves.